Luke.
Alexa.
I'm Ivan.
So growing plants, vegetables, and herbs can be time-consuming and very difficult. Our autonomous garden system helps garden enthusiasts monitor their plants from seedling to fully grown, and will ensure the plants get the water it needs and the sun exposure it needs. Our system will also come installed with a camera so that it monitors growth and is perfect for plant owners who do a lot of traveling and want reliable help to keep the plants alive. So our goals for this project were to build a cost and energy efficient autonomous gardening system, and we wanted it to be indoor and outdoor use. So if you have an apartment, it'd be perfect for you, and if you have a garden, you can still put it outside and it'd be okay. We wanted to monitor and collect real-time data, and we wanted shades that would help protect the plants against harmful sun exposure. And we wanted an efficient watering system, so only use as much water as you need. And then we wanted to manually control each system from your device if you are traveling and you wish to manually control. So our gardening systems, we have our water system, our reservoir, power, and shade, and we have our timer system, and we have a web server. And then we'll be talking about the electronic and hardware housing. And then at the end, we'll talk about the future work and improvements we do to our garden.
So one important aspect of keeping a garden alive is proper watering, which is why our system uses 3 soil moisture level sensors. And when the sensor reaches a specific threshold, it signals to the Arduino to activate the pump in our reservoir to water our plants. It also cross-references our plant's data sheet that has the water preferences of dry, medium, and wet. The benefits this provides is that it ensures that the plants are receiving their adequate water, so there's no overwatering or underwatering. And because of that, it also results in water conservation. Here's a diagram and a picture of our watering system. We use 5/16" vinyl inch tubing that's outfitted along the back perimeter of our garden bed. And we also have 3 water emitters that are located at the left, center, and right. Here's also a snapshot of our pipe down code. Since we only have 1 pump currently, we actually take the average level of our 3 sensors.
We'll skip that. Yeah.
So we also to have the proper watering system, we need a reliable source of water, which is why we also included a reservoir system. The way this works is that we have 2 non-contact liquid level sensors that sit at the max fill line and low fill line, and which ensures no underfilling and overfilling situations. This provides benefits of a reliable water source while providing efficiency and water conservation, giving all users a peace of mind. So the way this fully works is that you can connect the solenoid to the main line of your house. However, since the pressure in the main line is too strong for our tubing, we have to outfit it with a pressure regulator that goes in between the tap and our solenoid. Because of this, the system can be left on, and the pressure regulator keeps the pressure consistent while protecting the solenoid when it's off. And it's just a quick diagram of how everything is outfitted.
Hey everyone, this is an overview of my senior project, Plant Keeper. These are just 2 of the systems that I'm going to be demonstrating today. Over here, we have our electronic setup. We have an Arduino Giga and a 4-channel relay. I'm only going to be using 2 channels. Over here, we have our power, a 12-volt SLA battery, as well as our power distribution block, a solenoid valve and pressure regulator, and a water pump down here. And to control all of those, we created a web server on the Arduino, and we can show it off for you today. So this will turn on the hose down here and fill up our bucket. Just gonna go ahead and turn that off. I'm gonna turn on the water pump in the bucket. And I can have both run at the same time. the web server just to show it off. Oh, sure. Never mind. We'll show that in the live demo then. All right. And,
That's on to Alexa.
hey, everyone.
Alright, so the next system that we have is our power system. Our power system will provide uninterrupted power to all of the rest of the systems that we have. We have a battery and solar panel, and they're purposefully overrated so that our system can be used off the grid and it will always have constant power. The benefits of doing that is that our system can be used at like an off-grid location, outdoor use, and it is cost efficient and energy efficient from the residents. The power supply is made up of a 12-volt battery and a solar panel, 25 watts. The solar panel will always be charging the battery, so the system never runs out of power. Due to the battery also fluctuating, we've installed voltage regulators, so we have constant power running to the rest of the other systems. In line with our main kill switch, we have also a 6 amp fuse, so our systems are protected from any voltage surges, and as well as 1.5 amp fuses for every voltage regulator, which is a max current input. We have also 2 power rails, a 5 volt rail and a 12 volt rail for our systems. Our 12 volt rail will power our solenoids, pump, and motors, and our 5 volt rail will power the Arduino, Raspberry Pi, and any sensors that we have in use. Alright. Another system that we have is our shade system. Our shade system will pull down shades to control the temperature of our plants using photoresistors and temperature sensors that will be combined with our plant's sun's requirement from full sun, partial shade, and full shade. And by doing this, we can reduce the water evaporation and allow users to have a wider selection of plants, especially here in Southern California, since we have a lot of heat. That is very beneficial. Our shade system consists of shift registers to control our motor drivers, and reed switches, which help assisting with the positioning of our curtains so we know where it's located. We are also using weights and magnets on the curtains themselves. Here's a sample.
It's not gonna plug in, unfortunately. we'll do it in live demonstration. Alrighty. So for our camera system, we're using an ArduCam 5 megapixel camera and a Raspberry Pi 3 Model B. So this is going to provide a live feed to monitor the growth of the plant. And it'll allow 24/7 check on the plants and enables users to be notified of actions taken with the plant. Alright, and for the camera system, here it is. So the reason we went with PiCam over a USB webcam is because the PiCam is more resource friendly, and the USB webcam would take more processing than the Pi. So we're utilizing the PiCamera 2 library for all of our processing, and that works on the latest version of Raspbian Bullseye. To extend the camera connection, we are using a CSI ribbon cable to HDMI breakout board and HDMI cable, which you can see right here. And then we 3D printed the case and
we implemented a simple web server that can deliver streaming MJPEG video to a web page. And then there's a little breakout module you see. It's really useful, I love it. So for our web server design, it enables users to monitor sensor values and plant growth while also giving remote access and control of the multiple systems. And allows for enhanced efficiency and convenience, optimal plant care, water conservation, remote monitoring, troubleshooting, visual, and all that good stuff. And here's our overall block diagram of the design. So the Arduino is just sitting there, taking serial commands, reading sensors, sending all of that data over serial to the Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi is doing like the bulk of the work, so it's hosting the web servers, so Python Flash server, and then it has 3 Python client apps that are talking to the RESTful API using Flask, and that's how that works. So that will create all the automation in the system. So here's kind of like what the web page looks like on our web app on mobile. Our device would be considered an IoT edge computing device. Definition of that, the Internet of Things edge is where sensors and devices communicate real-time data to a network. IoT edge computing solves latency issues associated with the cloud. As you're cutting the cloud out, you're just doing all local processing. And the system uses an Arduino board with sensors connected to it and a Python Flask web application to display the sensor data in real time. All right. And then here's how it works. The Arduino outputs sensor data to the Pi over serial and receives serial commands from the Pi. There are 2 main servers, camera server and dashboard server, kind of like the dashboard on your car where you can see all of that nice data. So there are multiple client apps that are running and creating the automation. The dashboard buttons work by using JavaScript requests sent to a Flask web server with endpoints that send serial commands to the Arduino. The Pi is configured in access point mode, which allows clients to connect to its SSID or Wi-Fi network, so anyone could connect to it with their device. And if we go on to the next slide, here is all of the routes to the API. So this is what the Pi is sending down over to the Arduino, which is running all the firmware. This is all the commands. So when you press a button on the web server, it sends these. Let me go on to the next one. So here's what the web server can do. The system can turn on or off the pump and hose used to water plants. The system can control the shades to regulate the amount of light plants receive. And the system can retrieve the sensor data, including moisture, temperature, humidity, light levels, and display in real time in the web app. There are 15 sensors in total in the system, so it was kind of a lot. And yeah, we'll just skip that. And then one of the things that would have been nice to implement, if I had more time, was a captive portal. So as soon as you log into the Wi-Fi network, it just pops open the web page immediately. And then now I'll just pass it over to Alexa.
So we have 2 hardware housings. We have our power housing and our control box. Our power box it has our battery pack. We have a voltage sensor, so we can also detect our voltage levels. And we have our voltage regulators here as well that run to our control box, which has our Arduino board, Raspberry Pi. Our 2-channel relay is for the solenoid and the pump, and our H bridges for the motors. Right. And here is a look at the insides of the control box, and also the power box.
Sorry. For the future work and improvements, we'd like to add machine learning to the system, and we'd like to downscale and minimize the housing for electronics, and we'd like to include a nitrogen, pH, and CO2 sensor for a liquid fertilizing system. We also like fungus and pest alert, and I'd like to add lights to help the plants grow while they're indoors and can't get any sun. As a side note, there are DIN barrel power distribution blocks with built-in blade fuses, also known as automotive fuses, but there were no blade fuses in stock for the amperage we needed, so we opted for inline glass tube fuses. Ideally, we wanted one like this, though.
Right, here's also a demo of our plant identification. This uses a TensorFlow model from Google that has over 2,100 species. Here you have image of a sunflower. You see this gradation down there. Here's rosemary.
No, time for the one demo. So we're gonna have Gabby just show it off to you guys as a web app on my iPad. I'll just log in real fast. We can also probably log into the computer in a sec to show you guys so you can all see a little bit better. Yeah, you can just hold it up there so people can see. Cool. Oh, nice. I didn't know that was an option.
So we have the controls for the pump here, so we can turn it on or off. And then for the hose, it'll turn on the solenoid off. And then for shades, we have up and down, and then we have to stop it manually. So just to down. And stop going. And you have to do stop, and if you want to go up, you just press up. And then we have the live camera feed, and we have the moisture sensors here, and temperature, humidity, and then you can see if the water level is low, water level is high, and then we have the light percentage and the battery. We also have these reed switches, and that is it.
Yeah, all that good stuff. It's fun to see data. Cool. And do you guys have any questions so far?
I just had a quick question. With the web server, do you have added security for, let's say, like a hacker gets into it or someone accidentally goes into the wrong link by, like the wrong Wi-Fi by accident? Are there like built-in securities just to prevent the system being messed with, or?
Right now, it's just Raspberry Pi, so it's set up as a hotspot, so you just connect to it as WPA2. Obviously, you just have to type the password in. Other than that, there's really no security because it's just not within the time frame of our project.
And also, if, let's say someone forgets to like water the plant, is there like a code that allows it to be watered, or like?
Yeah. So that's one of the Python client apps you have, pump automation. So as soon as the soil moistures hit that threshold, the average, it'll just activate the pump and turn them on, just water your plants. And you can set those thresholds. Yes?
Two questions. So one, what is the purpose of the plant identification? Are you using that in conjunction with like
Yeah, so the reason
latitude,
for the
longitude, or like planting zones? Because just identifying that something's a sunflower, it doesn't tell me that it's neat if I'm in the West Coast versus.
right, so the whole purpose of that was to implement it with the system to make it automated. So it'll take a picture. We're using the live feed camera. It'll take the picture of the plant, and based on the data sheet we have, which tells it the sun requirement and water requirements of that plant, it will fully activate the systems. So for instance, let's say sunflowers need 6 hours or more of shade. That'll be full sun, so the shades will always be up. I believe for the sunflowers that's where you need medium to wet water. So when it passes those parameters, it'll check if the water level is either above 200 or 400. Because our water level sensors go from 0 up to 1,000.
And can you modify that, or is it just based on the data from the?
It can be modified.
And the other question is this primarily for indoors or outdoors? And if outdoors, would this be connected to like a rainwater system?
Yeah, so it is mainly for outdoors. If we wanted to do it indoors, we really have to scale it down. But yeah, it could actually be connected to that was one thing that we're talking about is if it was in an area that did rain a lot, rather than connecting it to the main line, you have a reservoir that collects the rainwater.
And your sensor could then adjust
Yeah,
to
you
that?
could, yeah, right. Yeah, you could attach, I guess, like a valve somewhere where the water is being collected from the, I forgot what it's called, that just opens and shuts. They could have 2 different channels that just has overflow or one that goes to the reservoir.
And then any other questions, you guys?
What if you overwater your plants?
What was that?
What if you overwater your plants?
Overwater?
And there are like too much rain.
Oh, that you would, that's actually like a future work thing. I would want to add like drainage holes into it so that, just drain out. But it wouldn't be ideal in this situation because I don't want water leaking everywhere. I don't have like a catch tray or anything, so. But yeah, I'd put drain holes in there.
There's other things, so if we just had like California weather, or at least in LA
At least you
weather.
get your change, right?
But you can move it under a roof. It's portable, so.
How much you ever sell your system for if whole prototype?
Oh man, okay, so if you're including just the cost of the parts, because everything here costed around like $1,200. But if I were to add like labor, like man hours on top of that, probably around 23. It's not like, it's pretty expensive. I can definitely get that lower now that I know how to build it, but
It's a prototype.
yeah, it's a prototype, so. And then I kind of want to like turn this around and show you guys the electronics, because that's like the fun part. So this is the control box inside of it. And here's the part parts. Oh yeah. So we labeled all of the power distribution rails here, so you can see exactly where the power is going to. Here's the sealed lead acid battery, our fuses, and it's all going into the control box.
We have our Arduino board, the Raspberry board. The cool part about the control box is that it's modifiable, so you can modify it. If you need a troubleshoot, we have it using, we're using DIN rails, so DIN rail and screws. So if you do need to remove stuff and add, you can without moving other parts of the control box.
DIN rail's awesome.
You see on the reservoir, you see how only one of them is lit up at the moment? That's because the water is in between the top and the bottom one. But once both of them detect that there's no water below that line, that's when the pump activates.
And then just a fun little fact before we close up here is we like designed this logo, and it was based off of the plant emoji. Like if you see it in your iPhone, it's the same one. And we just like put that there. It looks really cool. Painted this and it looks really cool.